illnesses when there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
We are Solution, crystal clear.
Sodium free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
Good night, St. Lucia, and welcome to another episode of Police Insight. I am your host, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. I'd like to say good night to our Police Commissioner, Mr. Milton Daisy. Good night to your executive, all Gazette officers, inspectors, sergeants, corporals, constables, both junior and senior. Good night to you, special police constables, special reserve police officers, city police. Good night to you all. Our peace officers, or we know them as the COVID wardens. Official name is peace officers. Good night to you. Ex-police officers, thank you for your service to country. We will never forget you. Good night to you. Good night to our brothers and sisters in law enforcement, St. Lucia Fire Service, Bodley Correctional Facility. Those are the port police, customs. I'd like to say good night to you all. Security officers and everybody in St. Lucia who has at the forefront of their mind abiding to the laws of the country. Good night to you all. Tonight is going to be very interesting. I know that is. I have a distinguished gentleman in studio with me, and very soon I will be introducing him. But as usual, we always have our little pre-warm-up session, our little pre-warm-up discussions. As we know, it was Sunday, I believe. Things was kind of hot in Soufrière. Very hot. With individuals deciding on their own to test the resolve, I guess, of the police, all in the name of having fun. I think earlier tonight, as a matter of fact, NBC gave a little broadcast, a little update on this situation. You have the clip, Shane? And roll that clip for those of you who missed it.
An official statement on the police force's efforts to round up the suspects involved in the March 7th Barons Drive disturbance is expected in the coming days. Police Commissioner Milton Daisy, in response to the viral after-curfew clash between defiant partygoers and police, they'd have until March 9th to give themselves up. Commissioner Daisy's deadline expired at midday. NBC Prime understands no one has voluntarily surrendered to Soufrière police. Daisy, however, assured his police officers would go after Sunday's rioting Barons Drive suspects. By March 8th, 11 people were arrested. To date, 3 of the 11 suspects arrested have been formally charged. Law enforcement officers have had their hands full responding to protocol-related breaches. On Monday, Superintendent Mashama Seeley revealed the latest data.
The 27th of December 2020 and the 4th of March 2021, there were 123 breaches, 15 arrests, 1 conviction, and 108 warnings.
The COVID-19 Prevention and Control Act bans social gatherings, including parties like the seemingly impromptu Barons Drive event. St. Lucia is also under a state of emergency and a daily 7 p.m. curfew. The police are taking a zero-tolerance approach.
I would like to remind everyone that parties are still prohibited, mass crowd events, beach limes, river limes are all still prohibited. The total number of persons who have been arrested between the 27th of December 2020 and the 4th of March 2021, 124. Complaints have been lodged against 4 individuals and 36 convictions we've gotten so far.
That number could go up in the coming days as Soufriere police intensify their investigations into Sunday's clash with projectile hurling curfew breakers. Rihani Isidore.
Yes. Would you imagine, folks? Would you imagine that despite all what we have tried, talk show host, news broadcast, public service announcement, despite all the information out there, because I know some people always like to say, the authorities don't speak clear enough. Or I'm confused, I don't know what he said or what she said. But despite all the information out there, some people will still decide to take COVID as a joke. To take the authorities as if, they're a bunch of jokers. And that the laws we've been enacted to assist in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 should just be disregarded. And right now, what's the situation? Was it necessary, the bar owner in Soufriere, to have allowed this activity for what? A few dollars? And sometimes, the ones that are there in that video, gyrating and getting on, probably have not even spent $20 at his bar. But today, you're probably one of those arrested, I know, charged, and you'll be before court. And those who are on social media supporting that type of lawlessness, I hope you go to the court and help him to pay his fine if he's found guilty. Will you help him? Is it necessary? What if any of those individuals there in that activity is COVID positive? Is it worth it? And I was happy to see our Police Welfare Association, our public relations officer of the PWA, Stanislas Albert, he gave a statement today to the media. And what the PWA is stating is that we are surprised or shocked. Oh, not really. But maybe he just wanted to raise awareness to the fact that the police responded to this incident. It was caught on camera. Missiles and stones were pelted at the police. There's not much of a public outcry or widespread social media campaign condemning the actions of these individuals. But once an individual decides to record the police, the peace officers doing their job, people have this perception that the actions of those individuals is an abuse of power. Then you will see widespread condemnation on social media. Yes? Widespread condemnation. The police this, those officers that, this will. But according to the public relations officer of the Police Welfare Association, he has not felt that same type of response for the way those officers were treated by the community. But that's okay. I mean, we're trained. It's all right. The police, we've been through this, and this is not the first time, neither will it be the last. But is it worth it in the end when we choose to defy protocols? And you know what's amazing, people? Here's what's amazing. Most of the time, the bar owners or establishments or those individuals who want to take that chance, who want to show defiance to the protocols, most of the times they're the ones that don't even have a liquor license, you know. So you would think, ladies and gentlemen, you would think that if you're taking a chance, you're selling liquor without a license, that you would be the one to be very quiet, to be, you know, under the radar, to follow the protocols to a T. But no, y'all are the ones who want to test the resolve of the police. Really makes you wonder. Really makes you wonder. People, the protocols are there to protect you and me. Because sadly, COVID has no discrimination. COVID doesn't care who you are, what class you're from, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you follow a particular political party or not, whether you like the police or not. It really doesn't care. If that was the case, trust me, we would find a way to ensure that the protocols are staggered or probably, you know, in a particular way that it only affects a certain amount of people. But no, it does not. And I'm also very happy to see the level of vaccination that is going around in the country. There's a lot more that has to be done. There are still frontline workers who are still skeptical about taking the vaccine. It's mandatory. It's your choice. But we continue to urge you, research for yourself and make the informed decision. Yours truly took it, and I cannot wait for my second dose. I cannot wait. In the night of the day that I took the vaccine, I had a fever and a headache. And when I woke up in the morning, it was gone. I feel a little more reassured. I still follow the protocols. I still wear my mask. I still do whatever I have to do. But now I have a little better peace of mind that at least internally I have more protection. Anyway, without further ado, my guest for the evening, Mr. Maybe I should just allow you to say who you are. Go ahead. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Fadi Leon. Did I say the last name?
Leon.
Leon, right?
Yes,
Mr. Fadi Leon. And you are the owner of 758 Cafe?
Cafe 758.
Yeah, that's at J.K. Rodney Bay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Leon. Could you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself? You know, probably where you're from, you know, and stuff like that.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, St. Lucia. My name is Fadi Leon. Originally, I'm a Syrian. Came to St. Lucia about 22 years ago. Mm-hmm. I established myself with the help of the local, of course, and the community, you know, and the love of St. Lucians. And I make my way in. And I own my bar, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cafe 758, J.K. Rodney Bay.
How long have you had that bar?
2014.
Oh, okay, okay.
Until now. And I appreciate the support from all my customers, you know, and my constant customers, if I want to say, you know, and my regulars. That's it.
And that's about it. And Fadi, you said you from where?
Originally I'm a Syrian. I was born in Syria.
Okay.
1979, you know, I'm 42 years old.
Okay, all right. Excellent.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you love St. Lucia, don't you?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, more than half of my life in St. Lucia, you know.
Yeah.
St. Lucia become my country, you know, more or less, you know. And
exactly.
What goes on you goes on me as well. What happens to you happens to me. What makes you happy makes me happy. You know, what makes you sad, you know, makes me sad.
That's right.
And vice versa.
And I'm sure, Fadi, as a business owner, especially you're a bar owner, I'm sure it took a toll on you when COVID invaded St. Lucia, didn't it?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think it was well, the way my bar is, and actually is located in the heart of Rodney Bay.
Yes.
And more like the tourist destination. Nevertheless, you know, I was here just like everybody in March 2019. And I was, if I can't say what you call it, the first, but one of the first establishment that closed down, you know, to protect myself.
Yes.
My staff, you know, and my customers, you know, actually. And I reopened, you know, when the government give us the okay to open, I think sometime in June. And we've been following the protocols, you know, off and on, you know, based on what the government, you know, advises, you know, accordingly.
Yes.
Yep.
And you have decided to share an experience that you went through.
Yes, indeed.
First of all, Mr. Leon, I'd like to thank you for the courage.
You're welcome.
To come and speak about this experience. Because like you told me, it's in hope of reaching out to others so that others could understand the seriousness
Indeed.
of COVID.
Indeed.
So let's start. Let's go ahead, Mr. Leon. So let's start from the beginning.
The government of St. Lucia actually suspended the liquor license on the 28th of February, I think so, sometime last month. And since my business depends on the sale of alcohol, and was included, you know, in the suspension of the liquor license, although I'm a restaurant as well,
yes,
nonetheless, you know, I decided, you know, on my own to shut down the operation completely.
Also, you also prepare meals and stuff like that?
So we're doing like half bar, you know, and more or less like, you know, also food like to complement the others.
Oh, that's great.
All right. But since the new wave and the deadliest wave, you know, of the of COVID-19 or the coronavirus, if you want to call it, right, I decided, like, you know, my health, my customers' health, and my staff health, you know, over the money, you know, over the dollar I'm gonna make.
That's good.
Right. Although, you know, some people tell me, like, you know, I could still operate as a restaurant, you know, and take away our delivers or whatever it is. So I decided completely to shut down the operation, you know. So I closed down 758 on the 28th. Unfortunately, you know, like money-wise, but I mean, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's my health. And I sent my staff home, and we're waiting, actually, you know, for the government to reinstate it.
The legal license. The sign of the license is legal.
And I more or less, like, you know, seized could say like about 95% of my movement because of the current situation of the coronavirus, you know, and the financial situation, of course, as well. Around I think that was the 28th of January, sorry. Moving towards February, I remember I recall, you know, I won 2 places, you know, I mean, due respect, you know, I will not recall the...
Yeah, that's right? Okay.
Around the 5th, the 7th, more or less, between that time. I can't actually remember exactly the precise
that's okay
time.
Too.
And gradually I start feeling sick, like more or less like flu-like symptoms.
You start getting flu-like symptoms, such as
headaches.
Okay.
But it was very unusual headache, because usually sometimes, like, you know, I suffer from headache, right?
Yes.
But it's more like, you know, in that part, you know, or upper part. But that one was actually behind my eyes.
And you've never felt that type of headache before?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Joint pain, weakness, and chills, a lot of chills, like, you know, like they have waves of chills, you know, like, you know, more or less like every 10 minutes, you know.
Okay.
And just like the usual, you know, ginger tea, chichima, you know.
Of course,
kind of
yeah.
things.
What we normally do before we think we should see a doctor.
Precisely.
Yes.
I mean, I've been there, I've done that, you know, but I even thought like, you know, that would be so serious. And around the 7th, you know, my situation getting worse and worse and worse. And based on some advices of my friends and my colleagues, you know, that I mean I need to go and get a test just to be on the safe side. So I drove to VG Complex.
Okay.
Right, it was on the 9th of February. And I was advised, you know, to do 2 tests, you know, which is what we call the rapid test, you know, and PCR.
Okay.
Rapid test, you know, within half an hour you'll be able to get the result. And the PCR, you know, will confirm.
Will actually confirm.
That's
probably
right.
what the rapid
The
test
period,
is saying.
right, you know, within a week and a half, depending on the speed.
Okay.
So we go through the process, you know, and half an hour, 45 minutes after, you know, the nurse tell me like, you know, I'm positive
That's first from the rapid.
from the rapid test.
Okay.
Nonetheless, you know, we have to wait for the PCR test to confirm the rapid test result.
Okay.
But 90%, you know, to 95%, you know, of the rapid test, you know, they come positive. You know, actually the PCR, you know, will.
Would normally say yes. That's
Yes, you know, but
definitely the
I
case.
mean, you're already positive, you
Yes.
know. So, I mean, gradually, you mentally, you know, you mentally, you know, prepare yourself, you know.
How did you feel when you heard those words from?
I felt really down.
Yeah.
I felt guilty as well.
Okay.
Guilty because I should have come earlier,
Okay.
right, and do the test. You know, perhaps, you know, I could be in a better situation, you know, than I am right now. I felt scared as well for my life because, I mean, you know, the coronavirus is something like you don't really know about it. Even though we try this or that, you know, but at the end they don't have a lot of missing information, you know. So I drove back home. But for a particular reason, that night I couldn't sleep.
So they sent you home for
So the
isolation?
nurse, the nurse told me like, you know, go home and quarantine, you know,
Okay.
and continue taking your medication like paracetamol, whatever it is, you know, and we'll contact you as soon as the PCR test comes out, you know, and to tell you exactly further details, you know, and what you
I
should
see.
do and what you shouldn't do, you know, whatever it is. So
So you said was home.
home is home. So back home. For whatever particular reason, you know, I could not sleep that night.
Wow.
I was more or less like, you know, twisting and turning, you know, try to breathe, but I couldn't breathe properly.
You couldn't breathe properly.
I couldn't breathe properly, you know, for that particular thing, the same night. And perhaps like because, you know, I'm hallucinating, you know, because I was afraid, you know, or perhaps like
And you
because my
wondering,
situation
yes.
was getting worse, you know, by hour.
Okay.
So the following day, you know, more or less, I said, nah, something wrong with me. I drove to VH, and I parked my vehicle and walked to that security. But I felt like, you know, I felt so weak. So between the, you know, VH parking spot, right?
Yes.
By the little canteen there, and the security booth, perhaps like between, like about 10 meters, more or less. I felt really weak. I mean, I felt like, you know, about to fall.
My goodness.
Because I was more or less like, you know, trying to struggling to breathe. And the first thing I told the security, I'm a COVID-19 positive, and I need help. I can't breathe. That's the 3 words or the 3 sentences, you know, more or less, you know, I tell the security. The security came to me, come, son, we'll help you out. That's the first word he said to me.
We'll help you
He
out.
told me, come, we'll help you out. So we have a seat, you know, under the tent, and somebody will attend to you. So I came in, I took my temperature, you know, I sterilized my hand more or less, you know, and I started. Then the nurse called me to the other side, and she took my pressure, she took my sugar test, you know, and she was about to take also the COVID test, you know. I told her, well, I'm already positive, but I can't breathe, you know, help me out, please. She said, we need to admit you. So between the security booth, you know, and going up the hill to VH, you know,
You had a little slight incline.
Indeed.
Entering the
Indeed,
building.
Indeed. I mean, after the paperwork, and sign and whatnot, I think that was like the longest step of my life,
My goodness.
I barely make it to the steps, and afterwards, you have to climb about three stories to get to the center, right inside the center. So I fell a couple of times.
You fell. You actually
I
fell.
was struggling for air, and I told the nurse, I can't breathe. I can't make it upstairs. So he helped me out as well somehow, and when we finally reached, it was like took me like about 20 minutes, 25 minutes just to climb the step because of my breathing, and I was so weak. So we went to the center, and the way it is, actually, it's like sections, like in the partitions. You have your own room, you have your own bed, you have your own shelf, your own privacy, and
so you're now admitted.
Yes, indeed.
So you're now in your room.
That's right. It's like a center, like you go in and you can't go out, at least if you're permitted, more or less.
Okay, well, just hold on there, Mr. Leon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will now hear about his experiences now that he's admitted as a COVID-19 positive patient at Victoria Hospital. Stay tuned to Police Insight.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete, so fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Yes, it's definitely about the High Life. The High Life with Prime Life by Digicel. Live the Prime Life this month and be one of 4 winners of $1,500 cash. Activate any Digicel Prime bundle. Upgrade to a postpaid Prime bundle. Download the Digicel apps or become a new Digicel customer to qualify. 4 winners, $1,500 each. It's the High Life with Prime Life by Digicel.
It's all about the High Life. It's all about the High Life.
COVID-19 stigma will not protect you.
I don't want that child playing with my child.
He better stay away from me.
Be kind during COVID-19. Follow all protocols.
That disease I have no cure.
Mika COVID now. Learn the facts about the virus.
Me, I'm not working with any COVID person.
She better stay away from me.
Let's not turn fear into stigma. A message from the St. Lucia Red Cross.
All for great savings, right? Flow gives you up to $80 a month off your mobile by just adding it to your home bundle. Enjoy the fastest internet speeds and free mobile calls from your home phone, plus HBO and free internet speed upgrade. That's more value while you spend less. Switch today. Bundle and save up to $80 a month off your mobile. Call us at 1-800-804-2994 or visit us in store. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
We are solution, crystal clear, crystal clear.
Sodium free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
You're watching MBC.
Hey, good night. Welcome back to Police Insight. Your host here, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. In studio with me is Mr. Fadi Leon. He's the owner of 758 Cafe upstairs the GQ Mall in Rodney Bay. And you'll know, as usual, at this point in time, halfway through, I like to shout out those out there on the Facebook streaming platform. So I'd like to say good night to Angela Hippolyte, Mr. Kidron Gustav, how you doing? Victor C. Anthony, how you doing, my brother? We have Gregor Rudolph, how you doing, bro? Good night to you. John Bless Warner, hello, my dear. Who else? Amanda Charles, hey, cuz, how you doing? Good night to you. Who else we got in there? Mackie Mac. One thing I like reading the Facebook names, it's amazing. Yulin Jabatis, Manny Vig, good night to you. There's a long name there. I'll try to pronounce it. Solani Ameyo Quad Victor Jacobi. Good night to you. Ivy Michelle, who stated that he or she is watching live from the U.S. Virgin Islands in St. Croix. Good night to you. Gary Hubert, good night to you all. Thank you for supporting the show. So let's continue this, I must say, I hope life-changing testimony for those of you listening. So, Mr. Leon, back to you, sir. So, just a quick recap. You started to feel worse, got yourself to VH. You said that security officer was like, the welcoming was so amazing to you. And even trying to get to your room, you had difficulty because the problem was breathing.
Indeed. And it was a real challenge for me to climb the steps.
To climb the steps.
Indeed.
Fadi, you're an energetic guy, you know.
It's not about the age, my brother, you know.
You're an energetic guy. And
I'm a very energetic guy, you know. But at that particular day and time, you know, I felt so weak. I felt so naive. And I felt like, hey, I'm coming towards the end. Because those who knows feel it the most. I couldn't breathe. Now, when you don't breathe, you know, there's not enough oxygen that goes inside your body to support your muscles, support your heartbeats, you know, to support this or that, you know. I mean, God forbid, I don't wish this, you know, to my enemies, honestly. Anyways.
So now you're in your room.
In my room. Within 5 minutes, you know, the nurse fixed up the bed. You know, she put a new bedsheet for me. She didn't have a seat. She took my blood pressure. She took my sugar again, you know, within half an hour from the first nurse. She also took my oxygen level. Yeah. You know, for an oximeter, like, you know, a machine, you know, like a full machine, you know, like actually have all the technology, you know, and stuff.
Okay.
And then a young doctor, you know, very, very professional, very warming, came in. Dr. Gifford. I hope I spelled the name properly. Very young, very professional, very warming person, you know, very loving person, in fact. She came in and she started the process. So the first process, you know, actually she put an IV right there on top of my hand to drain some blood, you know, for testing. Unfortunately, the blood came out clotting.
Your blood came out clotted.
So could not actually fold the little bottles to bring to the lab to test. So she took out the IV from her, and she put it right in my vein, back in my vein. Somehow, the blood came out. So she kind of I was afraid I might have what they call like a sign of stroke or blood clotting, because of my breathing. And she sent the test to the labs. And immediately, she started actually treating me in terms of steroid, to open my chest, and antibiotics, and one time she put me on the oxygen machine, all right? And she told me rest, and gradually will take care of you. And she left. And at the time, they had a Cuban nurse. She was checking on me every hour and a half to make sure, my blood pressure going down and, my sugar, going down and stuff, and my breathing, steady. And so on. I don't know what how long did you stay at VH? 9 days.
9 days.
Indeed.
So what I would like to know, what our viewers like to know, as the day progresses, would you say the second day, the third day, you felt worse, or was there an immediate relief?
Well, actually, when I was admitted in the first day, going to the 5th day, towards the 6th day more or less, I was more or less 80% dead.
You what?
I was more or less 80% dead.
80% dead.
Yeah.
Can you explain or expand more on exactly what you mean, Mr. Leon?
I couldn't breathe. I felt like, an elephant, sitting down on my chest. And I could not stay away from the machine. If I have, excuse me, if you have to go and urinate, or something, I have to urinate in a bottle. Excuse my language.
So you just could not leave the machine?
I could not leave the machine for 2 reasons. First of all, because I couldn't breathe without it.
Wow.
That's one. Secondly, I couldn't walk. Taking 5-6 steps, out of the room, it was a challenge for me. It was some serious challenge. And it was very painful, especially for my breathing, because my chest was really hurting, extremely painful. Extremely, I can't describe actually the pain. And the fact is, along with the chest pain, the headache, the joint pain, and the anxiety, and the fear of death. Right? Because, we learned, we know all of us, once you start losing your breathing, gradually, your organs will fail. Right? One by one. And that's the beginning of the end.
So you had this fear of death?
Yes, indeed. And I actually was hallucinating all the time, Right? Seeing things.
How about your eating?
Dr. Gifford, actually one time she put me on IV. And Chief, soon as the IV finished, I don't know how the nurses know. My IV about to finish. One time a new one comes in. Immediately. Automatically. Every 2 hours. Right? Doctor will come and check you out. Check your breathing. Check how you breathe, how you prosper, how you succeed, how your breathing coming to come. Every hour and a half to 2 hours as well, the nurse comes in with a big machine, that has your pressure, your oxygen, your how do you call it? Different stuff, just and record it.
Yeah, to record all your vitals.
Indeed, and one time, she will check your sugar, and stuff to make sure everything's all right. And that's every 2 hours, the Cuban nurses and the local nurses. Well, in fact, I don't call them nurses, I call them honeybees.
What do you call them?
Honeybees.
Honeybees.
Because they're always on the move.
So the service you got at VH, how do you rate it?
I can't describe it, I could say more than excellent. I can't describe it.
Because a lot have been said. There's some, social media ladies and gentlemen, and also there are persons, I guess, with their own agendas who would probably try to downgrade or give a perception when it comes to probably the respiratory center, or even in terms of the health, generally on the whole, when it comes to St. Lucia. But what you're saying was the service you got at this point of time where you believed you may have died was excellent?
Indeed. For two reasons, actually. The first reason, because of what I heard before about VH.
Yes.
Like we don't have this, we don't have that. There's shortage of oxygen, there's shortage of
exactly.
this,
Recently there was this thing about shortage of
that's
oxygen.
One. Secondly, the fact is we don't know much about the virus. So like having really scared, and I say, you know what, this is the beginning of the end. With that being said, and what I saw and what I received at VH, it's totally different to what I heard, to what I know of, or what I knew, in fact. I mean, despite what they call our limited resources, despite what they call it, our, how do you call it, I can't use that word properly, sorry about it. Despite what you call it, our little knowledge, more or less, about the virus, we did a very excellent job. Not because of me, they were treating me special. Everybody that was admitted, treated the same way. Because, I mean, the way the center is, half partition, like it's like a partition right now, glass, where you can actually see other rooms, because, the nurses have to be rooming at all times to make sure, you're okay, you're all right, So you could see actually other patients, but like you're isolated by yourself, you have your own room, you have your own space.
But you're able to at least see.
Indeed.
Were you able to communicate with each other?
No. Well, that would come afterwards,
Okay.
Right? But I mean, you could see hey, the nurses, more it's like they have a program, the room are numbers.
Okay.
So they are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they'll come from room number 1. They do what they have to do, The machine comes to the second one, they sterilize it to make sure everything's all right. Room number 2, room number 3, and so on. Every 2 hours. So it wasn't me, it wasn't you.
It was everybody.
It was everybody that was admitted, at that particular center. And every room has its own oxygen machine.
Every room had
room.
You had your own oxygen machine?
I had my own oxygen machine, actually. I mean, I have pictures, and I have videos, to support that, And as I said, I don't call them nurses, the local nurses, may God bless them, and the COVID nurses as well. I don't call them nurses, we call them honeybees, because they're always moving. Nonetheless, also the doctors, the young doctors, I mean, I couldn't actually remember their face because, they were well covered, from head to toes, with the corona gears, your shields, your mask and stuff. But you could see, when they talk to you, they really care about you. They really, really care about you. And every day, a doctor will come and check you, make sure everything's all right. Make sure, you recovering, nicely and stuff. Nonetheless, talking about the food.
Yes, tell us about the food.
No.
Tell us about the food.
Honestly, they make sure you have your breakfast, your tea. They make sure you have your lunch. Make sure you have a dinner. This is your 3 meals daily. Your breakfast, your lunch, your tea. You open your breakfast, you have your protein, you have your hot tea, you have your stash. I mean, for a big man, you will eat and you'll be really full. You have your, have pictures, to support all that. It's not like I lying or I'm just making stories. For lunch, you have your protein as well, your peas, your salad, your this, your that, and so on. So it wasn't like, something like, hey, they're going to treat you like less than the others, or, you'll not get the quality of food that, you'll not get, at your home or elsewhere. Honestly, it was a beautiful experience in terms of the treatment.
But not in terms of getting COVID.
Oh, no, not at all. My brother, let me tell you something, sorry, Saj.
That's okay,
Saj,
my brother.
Have I been, due respect, to other countries, have I been like in big countries like, such as Europe, whatever it is, I'll be a dead person.
You believe that?
I'll be a dead person because the treatment, we receive in St. Lucia, despite our limited resources, is beyond excellent.
It's like it's personal. It's
they treat you like they're treating each person, like individually. Nonetheless, everybody getting the same equal treatment.
Okay.
Not based on your color or your religion or you're a COVID patient. You'll be treated as a COVID patient based on your condition.
Tell us, okay, Mr. Leon. So you're there. Let's say 6th, 7th day. Tell us your mindset. Tell us about the anxiety. What were you thinking? What went through your mind? Because they usually say, apart from the sickness or whatever sickness we have, sometimes our mind is what sometimes makes us even worse. Tell us your thought process at the time. What flashed through your mind?
Well, the first 4 or 5 days, I was really about to give up, honestly, because of the pain I was in and the lack of information about the virus self.
Okay.
Right. And the fact is, I don't know how I'm going to be. I mean, if I come out, from the hospital, what condition I'm going to be in? Am I going to lose what you call my kidney? I'm going to lose my lung, one of my lungs, sorry. I'm going to come out, with a heart problem. So a lot of things that actually came to my mind, on an hourly basis. Right? So you by yourself, isolated.
You're not able to see a friendly face.
At all. So more or less like you and your phone. Right? So start reading, about the virus, start listening to different shows. I got a lot of support from friends and family,
via technology.
And loved ones, And I will say something, very important. There's that particular nurse. I got to know her last name. She's a St. Lucian. Can I mention her name?
Sure.
Her name is Nurse Moncherry.
Nurse Moncherry.
Yes, indeed. And she was actually that night, on duty. And I asked her a question. She came back about 11 o'clock. She wake me up from my bed. She told me we need to check your blood pressure, and the usual, make sure you're right and stuff,
Temperature and all that.
Right. And I asked her a question. I told her, Nurse, you think I could make it? Or you think I will make it? She told me, are you a religious person? I thought, well, I'm a Catholic, but I don't really practice the faith. She told me, if you believe that you will make it, you will make it. And today, I'm hoping, this young lady get in touch with me, to treat her the way she treated me. And to treat everybody, from the doctors. There's a few young doctors, I couldn't see their face, properly, I mean, male and females. I mean, God bless them. I wish I could get in touch with them just to treat them the same they treated me. Right? I mean, they're amazing individuals. Nonetheless, the experience was really bad in terms of the pain, in terms of the process, So on a daily basis, I'll be getting my antibiotics, I'll get my dose, of different pills, and medications, on a particular time. And of course, around the clock, they will check your IV, make sure, you're getting enough IV, because you see what happened, I couldn't eat.
Oh.
The first couple of days, I couldn't eat. They bring the food for me, and the food just stays there. I couldn't literally eat.
Is it? Would you attribute that to just a lack of appetite, or is it just?
Remember, one of the symptoms of the coronavirus, right? You lose your taste and you lose your smell.
I see.
And in the process, somehow the brain just cannot process, your body, needs food. So literally, my body was feeding on my fat, on my muscles. Right?
So you lost weight.
Yeah, I lost weight as well, and I lost weight. I lost muscles as well. Right? So here I am.
So on what? How long you spent?
9 days.
So on the 9th day, you finally got. That's how they did. You got the news that
I'll be discharged. Nah, it was a process actually. On the 7th day, or the 6th day, one of them, I can't really recall exactly. A young doctor came in, and he said, "Mr. Leo, how long have you been on the machine?" I told him, a couple days. He said, "Nah, we're taking you out."
Wow. How did you, I mean...
I one time I felt so scared, right? He said you're going to struggle to breathe. You're going to feel a little pain, but it's for your own benefits. I need your lungs to work on its own. I don't want your lungs literally to
just
depend
on this machine.
Depend on the machine. Because I don't want your lungs to get used to it. And then when we take you off the machine, you will lapse. So this is the right time for you right now. Your blood pressure is good, your sugar is good, and your oxygen is good. But it's up to you right now to recover. You have to recover on your own.
Wow.
I'm going to leave the machine right there. The machine will stay right there by you. In case of any emergency, you'll put it on and you'll use it. But try your best not to use it. Because you realize, I'm recovering.
I see.
So the first night, actually, I was more or less between sleeping, and dreaming and up, because I, try to monitor my own breathing. And with the help of the nurses, and they tell you, how much my breathing is. It's supposed to be above 95, between 95 to 99, more or less, which is normal, right? So I was always asking, how much is my oxygen level? 96? Oh, yeah, very good. Oh, nice. Your blood pressure, your sugar, my sugar, was a little bit high because when I came in, they give me steroid. So apparently the steroid, will bring your sugar level up, So they were afraid as well for that, in that matter.
Oh.
So our next doctor came in, I say, Mr. Leon, we realize your sugar blood, kind of high. We need to do a blood test.
Okay.
So he extracted some blood from me and he sent to the lab. Fortunately, came back negative.
Okay.
And my sugar level normal.
Normal.
And because of that, I started actually watching what I eat. So I dropped the starch, I dropped the whatever that actually can contribute to bring your sugar up. And my sugar went down right to 91, 81, Actually, they were afraid, my sugar level went down so low. Right? So I said, drink some juice, drink some, whatever it is. Yeah. Also, the friends, the support from the friends, especially my very close friends, such as Dr. Stanley, which is Mr. Iglesias' wife. She sent me support, she sent me fruits, she sent me, a lot of things, and on a daily basis she was always treated me as well, remotely.
Understood.
Right, along with the other doctors, and here I am.
And you received your certificate of
Yes,
clearance.
indeed. I received my certificate, and the doctor told me, hey, we're going to give you some medication. You're COVID-free. There's no reason for you to stay at the hospital.
Okay.
Right? But what I need from you, to take your medication on time. And if there's any issue or any problem, this is the number you can call. So and so and so and so. And guess what, bros? Guess what? Okay. I spent 9 days at the hospital. My life was saved. And I paid 0 cent.
Yes,
on earth.
We seem to forget that.
Way on earth.
We're so lucky.
Way on earth.
Yeah. You paid 0 cents.
To be saved.
To be saved.
And to be treated like a first world country. That if you are there, you will be dead. Help me out. Help me out in that. Explain that to me. So I really appreciate the government of St. Lucia. I appreciate the Ministry of Health, and I appreciate the staff of the Ministry of Health, from the CMO right to the janitor.
Wow.
No lie, no jokes. Because without them, I'll be dead. And also the security. The first thing he said, son, come, we will help you out. When he said that, he gave me kind of way hope. I mean, I could not process what he said, at the beginning. Yes. But sometimes, when you're in your room by yourself, and start remembering the process, of being inside, remember them words, and I said to myself, you know what?
That's why they say the first impression is always good.
It was on point.
And everybody has their part to play.
It was on point.
Yeah.
It was on point. It was on point.
Yeah.
I had my own room. I had my everything. And the same treatment I was receiving, the same treatment the others were receiving as well. The same food, the same treatment, the same medication. Well, I don't know about the medication like more or less, because I mean, different conditions, different stuff. But I know for sure, I had made contacts, with some of the patients, and they have my number, I have the numbers, and they think they've been discharged, and back on their feet, healthy as ever.
Okay, so we're going to take our second break. When we come back, we will open the lines. I'll continue my discussion with Mr. Fadi. You could call, probably those of you out there who have gone through the experience, who wish to share a little bit, those who wish to call Mr. Leon and give him some good words of encouragement for his courage, I must say, for coming here and give that testimony. Stay tuned to Police Insight.
Free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
It's all about the high life.
Yes, it's definitely about the high life. The high life with Prime Life by Digicel. Live the Prime Life this month and be one of 4 winners of $1,500 cash. Activate any Digicel Prime bundle. Upgrade to a postpaid Prime bundle. Download the Digicel app or become a new Digicel customer to qualify. 4 winners, $1,500 each. It's the high life with Prime Life by Digicel.
It's all about the high life. It's all about the high life.
COVID-19 stigma will not protect you.
I don't want that child playing with my child.
He better stay away from me.
Be kind during COVID-19. Follow all protocols.
That disease ain't have no cure.
Mika COVID. Learn the facts about the virus.
Me, I'm not working with any COVID person.
She better stay away from me.
Let's not turn fear into stigma. A message from the St. Lucia Red Cross.
All for great savings, right? Flow gives you up to $80 a month off your mobile by just adding it to your home bundle. Enjoy the fastest internet speeds and free mobile calls from your home phone. Plus HBO and free internet speed upgrade. That's more value while you spend less. Switch today. Bundle and save up to $80 a month off your mobile. Call us at 1-800-804-2994 or visit us in store. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete, so fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Dermaclinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Dermaclinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Police Insight. And this is where we open up the lines. The lines are open, 4533-911. I repeat, 4533-911. You could also post a question in the Facebook chat. You could also WhatsApp me, 7200-401, 7200-401. If you have any questions for myself, my guests, or probably just some comments on all what he has said, and especially what's going on with COVID. Have you taken your vaccine? Okay, so Mr. Leon, let's continue. Are you concerned at all about what we call stigma? Have you received any form of treatment, whether from friends, family, or persons that you know that knew that you were sick, that you never received before?
Excuse me, but I can't answer your question. Repeat, you just break it down.
Okay, I'm trying to talk about stigma. Sometimes when individuals know that someone have had COVID-19, they tend to treat them differently.
Indeed.
Like avoid them, stay away from them, even if they have been cleared by the medical doctors. Are you worried about such a treatment? Have you received any such treatment from anybody? You're a bar owner. Are you concerned?
Tell you the truth, I was not afraid of the stigma because, as I said, I was discharged on the 22nd, and I was received by my friends, by my loved ones, by my customers with open arms and open heart.
Nice.
I have not felt, to the moment we're talking right now, any stigma, anybody looking down at me. Everybody have called me like more or less like I know, and they give me the support, the love, and they make sure, back on my feet if I need anything or whatever it is. So our entire totally change in terms of how you're looking at the COVID-19 patient, or the patient that being recovered, and whatnot. Nonetheless, I hope, we will be able to get over it soon, with the help of our ministry, and the Ministry of Health, well, the CMO and stuff.
Someone although I know the answer to that, but still I'll ask that question. Someone in the Facebook chat asked, did they ever attempt to pump any fluid from your lungs? Did they ever attempt to pump any fluid from your lungs?
From what I understood, right? What the doctor told me, actually, I was so lucky to come as early as I can, actually, to be admitted. I had developed, pneumonia stage 1, right, and could have been worse, have I come late. The doctors actually do a very good job, and I could not actually go through the process of draining my lungs somehow. Perhaps, if you have developed, severe cases, they might as well, But, nah, it wasn't my case, actually.
Okay, I have a message here from Sergeant Small. He said, can you please give Fadi my regards?
Thank you.
I think you know Sergeant Small.
Thank you.
Someone wants to know, can you take the vaccine?
All right, cool. Talking about the vaccine, right? Since I was a COVID-19 patient, right? So what actually it happens, it literally attacked my immune system, right? And with the help, with the doctors, and the nurses, and the medication, right now my immune system building up, gradually, and things. So for what the doctor said, Dr. Stanley and the others told me, I can't take a vaccine right now.
That's right.
Because okay, let me just give it to in a local, local. My immune system is still under construction.
Yeah, I see.
Right?
Okay.
So what happened to you, you had a little fever, you had a little headache. I can't afford right now to get sick because I might have an immune reaction. So I need to wait at least 30 not 30, sorry, 90 to 92.
Yeah, I think
3 months to 3 months to 6 months, you know, right?
Yeah.
For me to be able to receive the vaccine peacefully, you know, just like the others. Nonetheless, also I understood I have a little immunity as well because I had it before because of the antibiotics, you know, and whatever it is, right? I was receiving and the treatment, so I have an immunity, you know, for a couple months to come.
What would you say to those who are still concerned, confused, not sure if they have not made up their mind about taking the vaccine? What would you say to those?
Take the vaccine right away. Take the vaccine. If you have the opportunity to take the vaccine, if I was allowed to take the vaccine, I will take it. Take the vaccine. That's all what I could say. It is safe to protect you, protect me, to protect everybody, and life will come back to normal. Have you not taken it, you know, it will be worse. Trust me. I mean, sooner or later, everybody must take it. So if you have the opportunity right now to get it free of charge, and before your time, right, take it. Don't be ignorant about it. Don't be ignorant about the facts, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we have to believe with science, you know. We have to believe with our doctors, you know. We have to believe with our CMO, you know, and the others, you know. I don't think what they call, they want us to be sick, but they want all the best for us, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, nobody wants you to be sick, you know, or me to be sick, right? A sick nation is no nation, huh?
That's right.
Right? And I don't think what they call our government so stupid, you know, to give you something to kill you or whatever it is, but they want the best for you, and to make sure what they call you are healthy and back to normal, you know, and back on your feet, at least 90%. Right? So take it, my brothers.
Mr. Leon, you are a bar owner.
Yes, indeed.
You are in that sector of society. What advice would you give to other bar owners, those who still feel that, I know it's a balance.
Indeed.
It's a balance between conserving one's health.
Indeed.
And also trying to sustain yourself financially.
Indeed.
What would you say to bar owners who are still having that issue of finding that balance? You have a call? Okay. Remember what you're about to say. Let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Good night, Doc.
Good night, sir. How are you doing?
Good night, Fadi.
Good night, good night.
I'll talk to you on your recovery process.
Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
I just wanted to address the whole treatment process. Can you describe what medication you were given in health with the sickness?
Okay. Any other questions, you know, or that's it?
Well, a few.
Okay, cool. Tell you the truth, my brother, you know, I had zero clue about one medication they gave me, but so nonetheless.
Were you unconscious?
No, not at all. Nonetheless, you know, I had. Well, when they come, you know, I mean, they have a piece of paper, you know, what they're giving you in terms of so and so and so and so. But I mean, I don't know the medical terms, you know, or whatever it is. So I had full trust and full confidence in them that, you know, I'll be receiving actually what I'm supposed to be receiving.
Okay.
But I mean, you could see the names, but I mean, long names, you know, medical names, you know. I mean, I'm not aware of, you know, I'm not.
Very sick, so.
Yeah. So I was.
You see, what sensitization about the virus has allowed us to do is to research and find out the different methods that are available for treatment of the illness, right? At the beginning of the whole global pandemic, mention was made of hydrochloroquine as a cure for the disease. Hydrochloroquine along with zinc and another thing called CPAP. And I realized that the World Health Organization and certain medical fields and even the media and what you call the social media networks would block information on those things. You understand? We also heard that recently Madagascar removed themselves from the World Health Organization because Madagascar came up with a cure, a global cure for the virus, right?
So what's your point, caller? What are you trying to get to?
What I'm saying is that, right? I think we should have a broad discussion on the different
treatments, possible treatments,
right?
Possible
for the disease, because I've also found out that Martinique gave St. Lucia some medication to use for the treatment of the COVID.
Okay.
And to this day, they have not been administering this treatment to the patients.
Okay.
Right? I think that is wrong, and I think that's gross negligence on the part of our medical professionals. Right? And if our government is aware of this and they are allowing that to happen, I think some questions need to be answered, right? Because there's this push and this drive for the vaccination. You know, I find it a problem that in light of other treatment measures, they would allow persons to die. They would allow persons to...
So I take it you're not going to take the vaccine, caller?
No, I will take it, right?
Okay.
And I think that we should be very careful not to mandate persons to take this vaccine.
Well, it's not mandatory for sure, caller.
Yeah, but
well, for now it isn't.
I fear
it might reach that point.
What's that?
It might reach that point.
And I don't believe that any government should have any right to demand anyone what to put in their body. You understand? Some of us take good care of our bodies. Some of us watch what we eat. Some of us research and are mindful of what we put into our bodies, into our children, into our family. And I don't think that it's any government's right to mandate what persons put in their body.
Yes, and that's a good...
should be given options.
Right, and that's why we still have options.
Right, persons should be given options, right?
Anyway, caller, I have other people on the line. I have other people on the line. So thank you so much.
All the best, my brother. I hope
Thank you. Much appreciated, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So, before we got that call, I wanted your advice to other bar owners who are still struggling as to how they should balance probably, okay, we still have another call? Okay. Good night, caller.
Hi, good evening. I'm calling for the show.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Welcome to Police Insight.
Hi, first of all, I would like to commend Fadi for coming out to share his testimonial in terms of his experience at CH.
Thank you.
With the doctors and nurses, because what you find, persons are more inclined to go and share the negative news and not the positive. And I have had recent experience in, hospitals, and I know sometimes the nurses and the doctors do try their utmost best to give the best service that they can. So I'm really pleased that at least some people are courageous enough to come and be honest and speak the positivity that has been happening. I find that throughout the whole pandemic that, St. Lucia has been doing extremely well in terms of when you compare to other first world countries, like you said, like the UK and the US. I had a sister with the virus, and she was a nurse. And literally, she almost died because of the influx of people coming in with the virus and the level of care in a place like the US, where, they're supposed to have more advanced technology, etc. So I am very pleased to see that we have reached that level of sophistication, to an extent where somebody can come and give a testimonial that their life was saved. And most importantly, at no cost. So that is very important for us. And I think we should be appreciative. What I find St. Lucia has developed a culture of not showing appreciation, but complaining and complaining. And I think, St. Lucians, it's time that we come out and appreciate the good things that have been happening, the effort the government has been putting, the medical professionals. We need to be thankful because these are lives we're talking about. Let's stop complaining and make the system better instead of complaining about everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller.
I mean,
that's definitely. She's so correct.
I mean, honestly, I came to this show, just with one initiative to speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
That's right.
I mean, absolutely, we have our limited resources, right? But we have a state-of-art establishment, and the love, the care I was received, and other patients received is beyond imagination. Honestly, from the security going right up to the center, from the Cuban doctors, from the Cuban nurses, to the local doctors, to the local nurses. They're amazing. Remember what I said? I don't call them nurses or doctors. I call them honeybees because they're always busy making sure you're well taken care of at zero cost. Can you imagine? At zero cost.
Very important.
You eat, you drink. Your life being saved, at zero cost.
And I'm so happy the caller made such an important point. For some reason, we want to give a lot of attention to the negative, to the conspiracy theories, to all other stuff. And listen, I always believe, ladies and gentlemen, I always like giving people an opportunity to voice their opinion. It's a democratic country. And the objective of the show, one of the objectives of the show is for us, the police, to reach out to the public. Now in the public, they will have individuals that we will not agree with. We will not agree with their ideas or their opinions, but we will still listen to them. But the bottom line is, and I'm so like what the caller said, we need to do more in giving a voice to the positive. And you, Mr. Leo, being here, I wish to commend you. Because there are some individuals that still have that fear, even telling people, hey, I was sick.
I mentioned something to you and to my Lucian people, if I could say it, like become a Lucian as well. Initially I said, one of my fear is what I heard.
There you go.
About VH. I have never been sick.
Yes.
Right? And to be sick to that, I mean, to that level, and we almost lose your life and go at VH. I mean, not a private hospital, at VH.
Yes.
That alone causing what you call it anxiety.
Because of what we've heard.
What I heard, what I see, what I saw on Facebook, and the how do you call it? The lies. Because absolutely, being treated like a king. You be treated how you're supposed to be treated as a patient, at zero cost. Imagine, that's what freaked me out. And I tell my friends, this center is a center, what they call it, like a masterpiece.
We have another call on the line. Good night, caller. Welcome to Police Insight.
My friend.
Good night.
My friend.
Good night.
I want to wish your guest well.
Thank you.
And it is good to see that he can come and give his story where he was and where he is now,
Because it could have been different, caller.
It could have been,
Indeed. We could have been watching his obituaries on DBS television.
Indeed. The story could have been different.
Okay.
So the good Lord, give him
Indeed.
some more days so it could be time for reflection,
Indeed.
I want to touch on a point, Brother Zachary. As a citizen and as a former police officer, I want to take time to condemn the actions of the individuals who engage in throwing missiles at the police. I believe that everybody should respect the law, and in that same vein, the police have to ensure that when they carry out their duty, the right of the citizens must never be trampled upon. It's a two-way street. Yes, the people have to respect the police, but the police themselves is not a law unto themselves. And in the execution of the duty, there shouldn't be no favoritism, and I will always say that until I die. There should not be no favoritism. You cannot have one law for one set and another law for the other set. People will feel disenfranchised. They will feel that it's like there's some kind of favoritism. Let me give you one example. And I know you and I doesn't speak politics, but
yeah, you know that, right?
You have a picture with almost 35 persons together in front of the church, the Suffrage Church. You have 2 government ministers in that picture. You have people there, no social distancing, but yet still you want the COVID wardens to go out and enforce that same law. My brother, it can't work. It can't work. It can't work.
Although I've not seen the picture you speak of, but I take your word for it.
It can't work. You have to ensure that when you are carrying out your duty as a police officer, you must not show no semblance of favoritism.
But caller, let me tell you something. No, one second. Let me tell you something. You see, the police, we usually always caught between a rock and a hard place. And we're not going political, right? Because remember, we have a guest there. We're on a particular vibe. But I just want to say this before we end. Most times, people ask for discretion from the police. Now, depending on the observer of the discretion, people have agendas. People always have their own thinking. I have been accused of having favoritism for a particular individual in a particular situation because at that time I chose to use discretion. The same discretion you usually call the show and you say the police should have discretion. But because at the time when I was using the discretion, an individual who don't like the individual, that was in terms of the subject of the situation, said I was using favoritism. And that was not the case. But I put that there, caller, just to let you know that there is no one rule, there's no magic formula to the actions of the police. The police will always be judged by different individuals in society. Today, I could be a hero to you. Tomorrow, because I'm now giving you a ticket, I could now be a zero to you. So I just wanted to make that.
Yeah, I respect what you say.
You understand what I'm saying?
There should be a level of consistency. And I want to draw your in closing.
Yeah, in closing.
Your memory to one situation. You have a leader of the country, a prime minister, riding at the back. I know you wouldn't want to hear that, but I'll say to you, riding at the back of a police motorbike without a helmet. My brother, it cannot be right, brother Zachary. It cannot be right. Let me tell you, I try my best when I am a leader not to do things I am telling those who I'm leading to do. I cannot find myself. My nephew came at my home, and he dropped an air, and I tell him he must say sorry. You know what happened to me? He came home the following week, I belched, and I didn't say sorry. He crucified me. He said, how come when he dropped air, I asked him to say sorry, and I belched, and I didn't say sorry. So we have to ensure when it's leading, by example. My brother, I love you.
I love you too, my brother. Thank you for always contributing to the show.
My boy,
have a good day. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Leo. Chief. No, but ladies and gentlemen, honestly, this is just the life of the police. And we're accustomed to it, and it's okay. We're accustomed to it. The police will forever, and our officers, as much as I know, always try the best to operate within the parameters of the law. And that is where their actions will always be judged. We have another caller line? Okay, that caller left. I'm hoping we'll be wrapping up soon. I still haven't been able to get your advice to the bar owners. Hopefully we can do that now. What's your advice to the bar owners?
All right. As everybody knows, like, I have a bar, and I've been striking, just like everybody else.
Another call? Hold on a minute, Mr. Leo. Trust me, we will get that to that. Let's take that call. Low down on your volume, caller. Low down that volume, kill that. Feedback. Okay, you there? Okay, we lost. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you call, to ensure that you low down on the volume of your device. Continue, Mr. Leon.
So, as I said, like, I have a bar just like everybody, being struck by the COVID-19, and the financial breakdown, if you want to call it, right? Nonetheless. Another call?
Is that your treasury? You'll get
no problems.
Let's take that call. Low on your volume, people. Yes, good evening, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Zachary?
I'm trying, my brother. How about you?
Okay, I'm good. Good night to you again.
Good night to you, sir.
Now, it's not my intention to disturb anything that was said there so far.
Mm-hmm.
But are you aware there are so many celebrations who have been at the same VH that you're talking about, and they have a different view, or they receive a different treatment? Because to me, that treatment you get there, telling you for sure that's like a king.
I said, not me alone. I said everybody else that was actually in the center was treated the same way, equally.
Yes.
Like kings, like queen, like princess, if you want to call it.
For everyone, it is expected for everyone to get the same treatment.
Colin, let me ask you.
And I did say that.
That's not right. Colin, let me ask you.
If you listen to certain testimonies,
have you been
of others who have been up there,
Colin,
they will tell you sometimes how long it will take them before anybody attends to them.
Colin, let me ask you. I don't want you to be mistaken, eh? You remember VH is no longer the primary hospital, eh?
I'm aware.
Mr. Leo is talking about his experience when he contracted COVID, as VH is a respiratory center.
Yes, it is.
You understand? So what I'm saying is we're well aware of all those complaints back then. He's only talking about his experience now. So let me ask you, caller, have you contracted COVID and have you been admitted to VH as it is a respiratory center?
I have not contracted COVID,
Thanks God.
but I was there with my mom.
Well, you can't be there with your mom, You can't.
I took my mom up there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
You mean as it's a respiratory clinic?
As it is, they put us to sit under that same tent.
Okay.
That he's talking about. You know what time my mom saw a doctor?
What time?
Almost 8 o'clock in the evening.
Why? They had a lot of people
I
there?
had to leave VH almost 2 o'clock in the morning with my mom to take her back home.
Take her back home?
To take her back home.
Okay.
I'm not telling you what I'm talking about my experience.
Yes.
Now, I find it really had a good starting with the security. Because I saw the treatment that some people got with the security.
Okay.
It was not one that was satisfactory one bit.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that, like I said, to discuss.
Yes.
He spoke about his experience.
Yeah, you could speak about yours.
And I am one who is a retired personnel. I was a civil servant. And I was into the medical field for 30 years.
Okay, God.
And you know what time I got a little assistance when I reminded them that I was part of that service. Then they started doing a little something because I said that I want to work with them. And they said, oh yes, I remember him. Now to me, that is bad. It's not because I am an civil servant. I reminded you all that I was among you all, that you will have to give me extra care. The sick is the sick. And listen to me, Zachary, my mom is 80 years of age.
And is she okay? Is she okay now?
After in the hot sun, into the Freddy, rain started falling, the water was coming between the tents, and they had a 92-year-old man sitting there. And I better not say more.
Okay. How is she now, caller?
Let's see. That is my experience.
How is she now?
And listen, up to now, nobody have ever called my mom to ask us any question. They took our number, they took her number. a family member of mine made one call at one time, and they just told that if she is feeling that same way, bring her back. And that was it. The next thing, up to now, never again.
Okay.
But if you got that treatment, my brother, with your guest, I'm happy. But we all need to get that same treatment.
I agree.
That's supposed to be for one set of people.
Okay,
For
caller.
all. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, caller. I kept asking him how is his mom, but I guess you.
Can I make a comment on that, sir?
Sure. Mr.
I mean, due respect to the gentleman's opinion, and
Yes.
I hope, his mother, recovered nicely. I drove to the hospital myself. I had no backup. I don't know nobody at the hospital, literally, right? And I just walked to the security. And when I walked to the security, right, he told me, sit down by the tent, or under the tent, and somebody will attend to you. And they had a couple people as well. And all of us were admitted, somehow. So when I was at the center, right, the same treatment. I mean, honest to God, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, I could have lost my life, and the Father gave me a chance to see.
That's right.
The life again, with the help, of the nurses, and the doctors that I don't know them from nowhere, and they don't know me from nowhere, and they have a lot of people the same condition with me, even worse, and they be treated the same way. Because I'll tell you something. At the end, before I was discharged, I was actually the best of the worst. So I was helping also the nurses of dispatching the food to different rooms, and I could see the same machines I have, in the room, they have it as well, and I could know when the nurses, or the doctors, come and check on you. They come in sequence. Like room number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could hear the machine noise getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to you, right? Until actually become in your room.
Well, one thing I could say, Mr.
Honestly, I'm not lying. Not because excuse me, not because I've been treated differently from the others, whatever it is, but all of us, right? We've been treated the same way, like kings, like queens, like princesses, like people that need help, and they really help us out. God is my witness, I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm always one, Mr. Leo, to take any negative critic as
yes, I understand that,
as something to just learn from.
I understand that,
and I don't think there's no reason for you to justify all what you said. The gentleman had his own experience, and all we could do is when we hear such things, when the authorities hear such things, is to probably work on it or make the service much better.
I hope his mother
Mr.
feeling well.
We now have to close. Maybe in your closing remarks, you could finally get to what I asked you.
Right.
Give some
back on the bar owner.
Give them some
as I said,
advice,
I have lost my income. 85% of my income, just like all the bars, right? But losing your income, right, is way, 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 way better and much better than losing your own life or losing your own health. You could make money, but money can't make you. So what I'm saying is follow the protocols. Simple. I follow the protocols as well, at my shop. We open from 10 to 6. 11:30 to 2:14, we're serving you with that, based on the new protocols. Right? Grab and go. Yes, I'm making less money, but I have my health.
You have your health. You want to take that last call, Shane? Yeah. Okay, let's take that last call. Shane still has a little more time. Good night, caller. You're our last caller for the night. You're lucky.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Sir, my heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
And I'm saying that because I spent 11 to 12 days there myself. And all what you are saying is the plain truth.
There's no reason for me to say any lies,
And the reason I haven't come out yet is all because I want people to be thinking the way as if, something happened and then you coming out to show as if, because it's you or because of your caller, you get a better treatment. I am saying you've been talking the truth. And my voice will be heard also. You give me the encouragement to come out.
Wow.
You could check me at the shop anytime, you know. I'll be there to help you out as well and get to know you better, you know.
And I am a bit, you know, you look stronger in sitting out there and talk about it.
Indeed.
Because sometimes I cannot sleep.
Wow.
Because while I was there was 3 deaths in the world where people were searching for air. And the nurses are working like donkeys. I want people to take that thing very serious. That's not a joke. And we're supposed to be proud of our nurses and our doctors. All what you say is the plain truth, my brother. I witnessed death. You was in a worse condition than I am. But some people don't look at it. We want to play politics, but that's not the time for politics. And because of you, I will come out.
Wow, that's deep.
Because I never thought when I left my home, I would make it back to my family. And I was praying for some people that was lying on the bed with the machine on them. And I asked God, please, they have a family to go to. Please,
Exactly.
help them out.
Exactly.
My brother, I believe we're supposed to come out. Those of us who left, we go in there, never thought that we would have come out. And we did. We're supposed to, you know, praise the health department, the doctors, the nurses that work in, and up to now I'm still making contact with them.
I'm telling you the same. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, you know, how we criticize in our health sector. I mean, I was afraid to go to VH. But what I saw with my own eyes, not because, you know, of my, I could call it like, you know, my position, whatever it is. But I was treated just like everybody.
Same like me.
My brother, you know, I have pictures in my phone of the food I was getting. And honestly, it's a first-class food. Honestly, no lie, no jokes, boss man. Right? They make sure they get it what they call your breakfast, you know, your lunch, your dinner. Right? A plate of food, you might pay $15 or $20 for it, you know.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
And can I say something? Even I'm not eating meat. Right? From day one, I told them I'm not eating meat. And then they've been feeding me with fish.
Precisely.
Right?
Precisely.
And the point I'm trying to bring out there, people talking about the food. Sometimes when you enter the first 3 days, you cannot eat because you have no appetite.
Precisely.
But the food will still come to you.
Like it or not, you still the food coming to you.
When I hear people staying on the outside, and some of them is saying, oh, just when you lie down on the bed, they just give you 2 Panadol. Those people have never been inside of there. To hear the machine.
Cheese and bread, man.
Working on people. Sometimes on my bed. Sometimes 3 o'clock. I cannot close my eyes. Up to now.
Thank you.
I keep on hearing the machines. And I keep on, sometimes when you don't hear that machine, that means that person gone.
Dead.
Sometimes they get them off the machine like you. They get you off the machine. That was excellent, my brother.
Precisely.
There are those that machine was on. When the machine went off, the light was shot on them. They couldn't go back to their family.
Precisely.
Sometimes when I hear the ambulance passing, not the regular one that go to OKEU. There is the other one that passes. When I hear that sound, I'm saying, God, another one is going in.
Exactly.
People have to take that thing more serious than that.
This is our problem.
My brother, and I'm proud that you come out.
Thank you.
That gave me the encouragement to come out.
Thank you.
Because I wanted to do it, but I didn't want politics to be a part of it.
You have my full support, my brother. Trust me. You know how to contact me, you know.
Yes, I will do that.
Trust me on that, my brother. You have my full support. And everybody, you know, want to reach out to me, you know, I'm willing to help them out. As a matter of fact, you know, I made a promise, you know, like, you know, to serve my country, you know, as much as I can. At least give them what they have give me back, which is my life, which is more important than anything else. Right? If I could serve St. Lucia, you know, Yes, I'm a Syrian. Yeah, I'm proud to be Syrian, but also I'm St. Lucian.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, caller.
To you, my brother. Can I ask you a question? Did you witness any death in your ward?
No. Nah.
I witnessed.
Well, actually, I was in the critical what they call department. I was more or less like the first stage department, whatever they call, because I had developed what they call pneumonia stage 1.
Okay.
Right. And I was like shaky, but I wasn't like that shaky.
Yes, I was in Ward 9.
I was Ward 5.
I can never forget Ward 9, Room 9.
Wow.
Until the day I die.
Because I'm happy.
All the best, my brother.
They have some nurses inside of there. God, I give my heart to them.
That's it.
I give my heart to them. There is one nurse. Before I go, I have to ask her, can I mention her name? I have to ask her that first. She was a savior. There was another doctor. And there is something I have to say. That COVID it gives different symptoms. And I can tell you, when I reached the hospital, because I was plain stubborn, I didn't want to go because I couldn't believe that's what I got.
Me too.
And brother, when I get there, I couldn't even remember my name.
Indeed. Indeed.
A name I use every day.
You have my full support, my brother.
My name.
You have my full support, trust me.
It takes that away from me. And I see I was just going down. Praise to the doctors and the nurses out there.
Indeed.
And I have to praise, right, this government for having a different, and it didn't put us in okay, because right now they're in Canada, they're building a hospital just for COVID.
Exactly.
And we were lucky to have that old lady called VH out there. I'm proud of that place.
Indeed.
Every time I pass and I watch that place, water goes down my face.
Indeed.
Because I see those nurses and doctors bring me back on my feet.
And they have done,
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
All the best, my brother. Support.
Thank
Peace.
you so much.
All the best, my brother. All the best.
Bye.
Let me tell you something. It's amazing. It's amazing, how with our limited resources, local and foreign nurses and doctors, they're taking the chance to come in the hot zone, right? And they could actually contract a thing called COVID at any given time, from the janitor to the doctors to the nurses, and yet still they're on you 24/7 to make sure you're back on your feet.
So you know what we're doing? Okay, great. Well, let's continue. Once again, your last remarks. And
yes.
Then we end.
Before I go to the COVID, I'm going to finish what they call the bar talk. Remember, people, we making money. Money doesn't make us. If you lose your health, you lose everything. I'd rather to lose my business, or 85% or 90% of my business income, and have my health, my staff health, and my customers' health. That's one. COVID-19 is not a joke. This particular virus is there to kill you. One initiative and one mission it has in mind is to kill you. Simple and blank. It hurts me when I listen to talk shows, and people call, they say, there's no corona, there's no this, there's no that, they have not been what me and other people been through. And then they understand exactly how it is. Stay safe, stay blessed. That's all that I could do for you. And you have my full support. Any COVID patient need my support, I have it there for them. And they know how to get me. I appreciate the nurses. I appreciate the doctors. I appreciate the Ministry of Health. I appreciate the CMO and all the health workers, as I said, from the head right to the janitors. I appreciate the government for doing a state-of-art establishment, with our limited resources to save people's life. I appreciate all the people that give me the support from you, from the Commissioner of Police as well, from everybody. My friends, my family, right? They opened their heart and their arm for me, when I left the hospital. They never rejected me. My staff, I love you all. Everybody. And everybody needs my support, I'm there to help them out, at no cost, at nothing. Please, stay safe. That's all what I could say, because this is not a joke.
Thank you.
This is not a joke at all.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Leon. Thank
Thank
you so
you. I
much
appreciate
for
it, man.
having
No
the
mention.
courage. I commend you for being here to give your testimony.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
No mention, sir. No mention. My pleasure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to an end of Police Insight. Thank you for all those who watch via Facebook, those who sent your messages and I was not able to read it, and those of you who called. Please stay safe until next Tuesday. Good night.